Hello, welcome to this episode of WebbWatch. Just wanted to do an episode, and this one is about the Nintendo. It's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I just want to talk about it because it was a very, very important console. Got a couple of booklets here. I've got the box art as well, just to use as a backdrop because this is the episode for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was also, it came out in, first of all, it came out in Japan. It came out on the 21st of November 1990 in Japan, and in North America, it came out, it was followed in North America. That came out in August the 23rd, 1991. In America, though, they were a bit funny because they didn't really like this design, so they completely, to me, it looked like they butchered it and then brought it out completely different. If you ever want to look what they look like, just have a look on the internet, and they don't look like that. They look very different. They're not my sort of cup of tea. But anyway, we got this one, luckily, the one that looks like the one that came out in Japan, the original one from 1990. And when it was released in the UK and Ireland, it came out on the 11th of April 1992, and that year also was it came out in Europe, I think in June 1992. The last place it came out in the world was actually Russia. It came out in November 1994, so there you go. And it was discontinued in the UK in 1998 and replaced with the N64. But we just want to talk about the system in hand, the system that we've got here. We have the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, you can't really give it much of a... I mean, it looks good. I'm going to get the console, but first, have a little look at the booklet first. This is what you would have got with every Nintendo Entertainment System. Also, it was a 4th generation console, so it was a very good console. 16-bit graphics, 3D. It was good stuff. Brilliant console. But yeah, this is the booklet. This is what the front of it looks like. There we go. Have a little zoom out a little bit, actually. There we go. You can see a bit more better. There we go. This is the model number, SNES-P-UKV. This was the one you would have got with every single one. It's got quite a lot of information in this, but it's also good to have a look at the... there you go. You got your Nintendo seal of approval. It was distributed by Bandai. Funny enough, yeah, I think they had to do that to do with Nintendo Europe or something, because before that it was Mattel, and yeah, that was for the entertainment system. But that's another video for another day. This is how you wire up your plug. If you look, the actual colours for that are different now. You don't use brown and blue anymore. The blue one is neutral. That's I think that's black now, isn't it? And I think live's red, isn't it? So they've changed the colour since that. So there we go. That's how all the stuff. Control pads. There we are. All that. Yes. That's yep. That's for your TV. Information, you know, if you haven't got a booklet and you got one of these and you want to have a look at it, then you're welcome to have a look at it. There's all that there. It's all important stuff, this. It's all important, so yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant console. They just don't make consoles, just fun anymore. I think they're just, these days, the consoles that are out are just, I don't know, they're just like PCs, aren't they? I don't know. You've got to have the internet and all that now. Back then, it was just you went out, got a console and bought the games, and you were ready to roll, ready to go. No internet needed. But yeah, these days it's all get on the internet. You have to download games, and I think that's the future now. I think It's a shame though, really, because I mean these sort of consoles will just last forever because the cartridges and everything like that are basically, as long as you keep them clean and dust and everything, you should be fine. It should last for a very long time, probably hundreds of years. They're kept in good condition. This is the stuff that's actually quite yeah, it's quite good actually. This there you go. It tells you all the troubleshooting errors that you could get with the system. If you're some people, they've had it in storage for years and then they've got it out and they've obviously had these problems and then probably thought they're got an error with them and selling them on the internet or something. But if you've got the booklet still, you can still have a look and see, it might just be something simple, like you haven't plugged something in properly or pushed it in or, into the actual console itself. There we go. When playing blah, 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 blah. Regular TV will not come on. Oh, well. I think a lot of this as well, it's analog TV as well. It's all digital TV now, so yeah. There we go, and that's it. Bandai. It's the same address as the Nintendo in my Game Boy, and that was a year later. I think that was 1993. This is from 1992, so I think back then it must have been Bandai then, and then it changed it to Nintendo. And you get 2 blank pages to write your high scores on, and there you go. It's the same Bandai, yeah. I didn't know Bandai was to do with it. It must have been to do with the distribution of putting it around in the UK or whatever. You always get this one as well. This is just like a customer information procedures book. I think it's just about epilepsy and all that. Yep, epilepsy. God, that's a lot of patents. Look at that. That's a lot. Got all the United States patents and United Kingdom. Well, they had to change the whole of the shell, didn't they, for the United States? Very weird, very bizarre. It's just the same as in the book, but in here as well. But yeah, it's anyway. I'm gonna do is go and grab the mean machine itself, and here it is. This is it. This is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, 2 ports. It's yellowed a bit on the bottom, but a lot of them go like that. Even Game Boys do that, so yeah, it's one of them. Anyway, yeah, you've got 2 control ports. You've got power, eject, reset, and yes, cartridge. That's where the cartridge goes. Brilliant. It's good stuff, and that's all you need from a console. And on the back, let's have a look. On the back, you got your that's for your TV, putting your TV in. That's for your RF, and that's for your power. There you go. And you got your connector port. That nobody even knows what this is for. It's just something that yeah, an expansion pack that was never used for anything. I think it was supposed to be for the CD add-on, but it never actually got utilised, that, because you've got a screw thing there as well, I think, as well, yeah, like a metal screw thing, but it's never used to, like, there's one on the NES actually as well, like a DIN thing on the bottom of it, but they capped it off with a piece of plastic. It's weird that. It's funny the plastic's not changed colour either, whereas the rest of it has. And that's it. This is the information. There we go. This is it. There you go. That's it. That's where it's made. Made in Japan, 1992. Patent pending. Super NES PAL control deck. That's it. There we go. It's a mean machine, and it's good. It's just a good machine. It's brilliant, 16 bits. It didn't even need to actually say it like the Mega Drive, but this was a good console. It's a good console, and it just looks mean as well. It's very well made. I think it's probably one of the best consoles that Nintendo has made. Out of, I don't know, because the NES, they were sort of getting into the console zone, weren't they? They were just, that was the first sort of console. Then, excluding like handheld consoles they made, home consoles, I think this was probably the best. I don't think there'll be many that would probably beat this. I mean, in terms of the playability of the games, the game collection that came out on it was unbelievable. There was a library. How many games actually did come out? Yes, there was 521 actually Europe released games for this. So there was 521 games, and yeah, I'm just gonna have I'm just gonna bring a couple of things that you do get with them as well. This is it. I think possibly these are probably the best control pads that Nintendo has made as well. I mean, brilliant. Absolutely. They feel good. You know what I mean? They feel like how a control pad should be. You got your shoulder buttons there. I mean, they just feel good. I mean, there you go. Zoom in. That's the number for that. But yeah, I think probably the best. They just feel good. You know what I mean? These feel like a proper control pad should be. I mean, yeah, they're just comfy. You know, the NES one was a bit square, a bit. Well, the NES one actually, it used to just dig into your hand there. You know what I mean? When you were playing on you were like that. But with this, I think they mastered it. They definitely mastered the button layout. Is just, that's it. When you're playing the game, you got. It's a good best control pad, I think, probably. And I think the PlayStation probably nicked some of the ideas as well, didn't they, when they brought Sony and all that. But no, these were probably the best control pad, I think. Yeah, look at that. They just look good. But yeah, you plug them in and there you go. You've got to plug it in, haven't you? There we are. That's it. Plug it in. Yeah, I just think they did master it with that. I think, yeah, it just looks good. Definitely is a good. They just don't make control. I mean, yeah, and I mean they last. I mean, this is what 20, no 30, 1992, 32 years, and still works. Nothing wrong with them. They feel like a brand new control pad. And yeah. Anyway, we talked about the console that came out, and we've talked about the control pads. We've looked in the manuals and everything like that. Now I think we should venture down how many games was, what were the best games out for the system. So if you're thinking of getting one of these and you're thinking of picking up some good games that were probably, out at the time, and you thought, well, I'll have a little a look or something like that, then I've made up I've not made up a list, but I've had a look online and to see what were the best-selling games of all time for this system. And number 5 was Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior. That sold 6.3 million. Yeah, that sold 6.3 million. So that was number 5. Number 4 is Super Mario Kart. That sold 8.76 million. So it's climbing up there. And the next one is Donkey Kong Country. That's number 3, and that sold 9.3 million. And number 2 is Super Mario All Stars. That sold 10.55 million. And number 1 is Super Mario World. Woo! Bit of a giveaway when it's there. This sold 20.61 million copies worldwide. So this was a big game. says important whatever on there. Do not power this game pack. Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, let's have a look at the label. There we go. Yes, this sold 20.61 million copies, so this was the biggest selling game for the SNES, and well, it was massive. I think everybody had it. I think I knew probably 2 people that had these SNESs, and I didn't have one, unfortunately, though. When I was younger, we had a Mega Drive because we ended up, well, actually, it was me. Yeah, it wasn't my fault. I ended up, this came out in 1992, and we had a Mega Drive, and we didn't really actually have one when I was a kid, but I did know 2 people that had one, and then I knew gradually more people that had one because they gradually, more and more people got them anyway, didn't they? Because they were a good console, and the price drops as well, but over time. But that was the thing. This was the biggest selling game. I think this came out probably at the beginning of when the console was launched, and it just sold mega amounts throughout the whole of the time it was actually out. And also the yeah, like I said, the console was discontinued in 1998, so this was for sale up until probably 1998 or sometime like that. But also the yeah, they just this was the biggest selling game, and yeah, it was a brilliant game. I remember playing it though. I mean, people had it and they were playing it and everything like that. I remember having to go on it, and it was pretty good. I remember going around a mate's house though, and there were big, the big bullet bills on the first level, I think, or something like that, because I had to go on it. And the first time I played on it, I jumped on one of them and killed one, and he said, "I didn't know you could do that." And that was his. He had the console, and he didn't know that you could just jump on him and kill him. He thought you had to duck down and let them go past, which is funny. But yeah, anyway, and when you put them in, this is cool, this though, because when you put them into the console like that, you put it in like that, it's absolutely brilliant, because if you want to inject it, you just go like that, doing, it pulls out like that. Absolutely brilliant. The cool systems and cool games. I mean, there were some good games for it. There were some, obviously you got some ropey games that were a bit, but you got that on every console. But this console did have some good games. I think the top 5 games on there were probably the best selling games. I think I knew anybody that had this console probably had, Donkey Kong Country. I think everybody, I remember loads of people having that one, and Mario Kart. Virtually everyone, I knew had that game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a brilliant game console back in the 1990s, and then it just went, I don't know what happened. I think it just went after this, because it was just this and the Mega Drive, and they were just battling, to be the best. But it was funny, you know what I mean? It was just like back in the day, they both had their own things saying about each of us, saying, "Oh yeah, this is like better than our, try, buy this, it's better than our console," and all that. But this was a brilliant console. I mean, there was this and the Mega Drive, but this one was more of a refined console. It was more, when it came out, it's more, yeah, it was just more better. I don't know. It was a finished product. I think the Mega Drive was more rough. That's what I'm thinking. It was more like the games were more, they were like, I don't know. There were some good games on that, but I mean, it's a weird one. I think, yeah, it was more like, I think with the Mega Drive they got away with more. I think the entertainment system, SNES, was more aimed at families and all that, but also you did get some good games that were also aimed at, well, they were more playable games, if you know what I mean. They were more refined. They had a lot more thought, I think, especially in the first party Nintendo games. You had a lot of games that were exclusive just for the SNES. I mean, come on, Street Fighter 2 came out a year before the Mega Drive version, and then when you got the Mega Drive version, you had to buy a new control pad that had 6 buttons, otherwise you couldn't play it, because you were pressing start every 10 seconds to change the combination. That was why the SNES was a miles better console. You could play Street Fighter on it, and it worked, and you didn't need to buy new control pads and things. They were well made. I mean, it's a nice control pad. You could just hold it for hours, and you wouldn't get hand cramp or anything like that. I mean, you just don't make, yeah, they just don't make things like that anymore. Do you think they're cool? But yeah, if you're thinking of getting one of these, definitely get one. But the games for them do go for quite a lot of money. You know, the original games, there is a few that can go into thousands, you know, if you're thinking of collecting them and all that. But it's a brilliant console to probably get, and there's a lot of games out there, like, you know, also, yeah, the top 5 games and Mario All Stars and all that, they're not a lot of money though. There's that many of them about, you know, just the card. If you want to play on, you know, have a quick fix on it, get one of these and have a go on it, and yeah, good console. But if you like this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Subscribe for more.